because this video deals with what happens after exchange of contracts, how do you pay your balance to complete, which is the balance after paying your 10% deposit. So it's normally 90% of your purchase price as the buyer. Now that money has to be paid in time for your completion date. So say you exchange on the 1st and say you complete on the 15th of a particular month. Now on the 15th, you have to have that money with your lawyer as cleared funds in your lawyer's accounts, because what happens is your lawyer on the 15th has to send that money to the seller solicitors and he has to clear in the seller solicitor's bank account. You imagine the millions of pounds that are floating around the UK banking system, which means that sometimes money doesn't reach within the same day. So we always suggest that prior to your completion date as the buyer, you send your lawyer at least 2 to 3 days your completion money. Okay, you may lose a little bit of interest, but it's not very much. But what you don't lose is not completed in time, because if that money doesn't reach your lawyer in time, it doesn't reach the other side in time, you're actually not complete in time. That makes you in breach of contract. At the ultimate risk, you could risk 10% deposit, but even you can risk, for example, late completion, which means that you may have to pay for removals, for hotels and so forth. So make sure that you send that money in good time by a bank transfer, not by backs, not by check, because those are not guaranteed to receive on the same day. You must send it by a bank transfer, what's called a telegraphic transfer. So contact your bank. They know they do these day in, day out. So contact your bank well in advance of those 2 or 3 days, make a bank transfer to a 90% deposit, or if you haven't got the 90% balance right, you're getting a mortgage, then whatever you have to send for your balance. And obviously we'll get the mortgage money from the lender directly. So send that at least 3 days. That comes in here, as I say, we'll have it ready. On the day of completion, we actually AVRillo send it on the very early morning, so make sure it gets in the banking system early. We'll send that by TT, the seller solicitors, and if you've got a chain, they'll start sending it down the chain. Okay, that's completion and completion money.